And for this video, can we get all of this into here? I'm wearing a kilt. It's quite cool in 26 degrees. It's 26 degrees on the river at the moment. You can't see up my kilt. Now regretting wearing this. I've not done a packing video before. I'm very interested in doing a minimal pack camp or minimal pack hike. So I got this, which is the British Army DPM Northern Ireland Patrol Pack. And it's around sort of 30-35 litres, might be a little bit more. These side pockets are a little bit bigger than I expected. It's got 2 pockets at the top, 2 side pockets, quite a big central pocket, and everything has drawstrings, so it's quite waterproof. It's very similar to the pack I had called the OA pack. My first ever real rucksack was a massive army rucksack. It's like a scaled down version. I've always wanted something a bit smaller and do like a minimal camp, a minimal hike, and there's very good reasons for that. If you've got a big rucksack like an 80L or a 60L, all eyes are on you. A very kind of noticeable. I've been challenged with a big rucksack, and so I've always wanted to do a thing where I do a walk or a hike with a very minimal, smaller pack. I've wanted to do it for years, but my gear was just too big. And as I've managed to get smaller and smaller in my gear and also narrow down through practice and experience what is useful, because what you learn as you do more and more hiking and camping is what's essential and what isn't. That's just experience. You can get some tips from people like me, but mostly it's just experience, because everybody has different things that they really want to take. Some people have to take a pillow. That's one of the things I don't have in this, is the pillow. I love my Therma-a-rest compressible pillow, but it's just too big for this. But I do have a solution for that coming. I said in a recent video that was a luxury, and I think it still is. You can get away with, you know, your clothes in a bag, but it's not essential. But other people disagree with that. It's a very personal decision. Now the question is whether I can get all of this into here, or even into this one, which is kind of like a cut down version of this. I might not do that today because I'm kind of up against the clock, because they're going to close the park in about an hour, because we're in Home Park at the moment and it's blowing a gale. But this is Royal Navy pack, and there's a video about loading up this one with a similar kind of gear. I will just link to his video on screen. I thought I would do my variant for this one, and I've modded it with a few water carriers. I got off Temu, very cheap. These, they've got like a little MOLLE connection, and I've also done my classic mod of bungee cord and those little toggles for the trekking poles. Am I flashing everything? Right, so the first one is the new poncho liner, the Woobie by the Bergen, and this is obviously, it's down, it's 600, so it's good for summer, quite a lot of loft, so you'll probably be right for shoulder season. And this camp very much is for summer, shoulder season. I do have, as you can see, some warm clothes, and I would have maybe a little bit extra. I forgot, of course, the most important part, the rubble bag. So put that in first. Although you can get synthetic ones, it's quite compressible. This is why anything down makes this possible. It would be difficult, no, not impossible. There are sort of connector points. They're not MOLLE straps, PLCE, these straps running through, so you can strap things to it. But when you're trying to be stealth, you really don't want to let people know that you're thinking of camping. So clothes in the same bag, because it is waterproof. It's got this rubberized lining in here, so it is waterproof, but I wouldn't rely on it. I wouldn't rely on any waterproof of any backpack ever. You should always have your bedding and your clothing in a separate little dry bag or something. Then the Therma-a-rest X-Therm Neo. This is an old one. It's one I've been using in my videos. That packs down quite small, and again will compress. Then you've got the Lanshan 2 and puffy jacket and my Marmot waterproof jacket. But what I'm planning to do is, you see these strips here, I'm going to take that stretchy mesh fabric and then double it over and then lace it in. So I'm going to create a pocket on the back. There's two things that I really wish this rucksack had, was stretchy sort of drinks pockets, side pockets, but I kind of really do like having a mesh pocket on the back. Fairly essential thing for me. I did try and make one. I don't know if you've seen those little mesh bungee bags that in cars they put between the two seats to put in stuff. Didn't work so well with this one, works better with another one. We then put these down the side pockets, like the cup, the stove, my coffee filter. That is a bit of a snug fit. And then, oh, we forgot. Well, we would actually, though we're using it at the moment, what would happen is you'd put the blanket at the back here, and it does fit, but I'm not going to do it at the moment because we're using it. Right, the filters into this side, and oh, this is a new one. This is a Timo job, a titanium poop trowel. It was nice, it's got little saws on it, and also I think it's got, not that you really would necessarily want to open your bottles of beer with your poop trowel. Not sure why would you want to do that, but anyway. They're not full at the moment, but 2 bottles of possible fuel. We have more space for food in here. And that metal sponge, metal scrubby, that's essential. That these bits of food can go in here. When I did sort of tested this, I found there was actually more pocket space. Okay, some candy can go in there. Obviously what you miss with this is side pockets you have on sort of bigger rucksacks. Well, they've got pockets which are very useful, but you could put pockets on here quite easily. And what I do is I usually put the top pocket, because apparently the top pocket of these is not so waterproof, so that's my first aid, ablutions, unctions, sun cream, Midge net, very important, that sort of stuff. And then the second one, which is a bit kind of slightly hidden, but apparently more waterproof, is where I put the tech stuff. So my head torch, my huntsman, and lots of like a battery and light, and also the microphone fits in here that I'm using at the moment, and some other stuff which you will see later, some secret stuff which you will see on the trip when I do it. Water bottles can go into here. Last time I tried it there was actually a bit of space in there. I mean, I think I've got a bit more food in here now, but you could actually put the bottles in the sides. It's a bit of overkill having the Knock Vecto X, but you know, it's, you never know when you need extra water and things like that. So, and then these, which you just bungee in and tighten. And this is my invention, but I'm sure other people have done this before. But yeah, I'm gonna have fun modding this pack, I think. And it's back to my original hiking days, hiking with an army pack. And I hike with it here, even the tripod, and this, which is more weight than I would usually have. And it was fine. And the amazing thing about this is that this is supposed to be grade 1. It's basically new. So if you're doing shorter trips, I really recommend this. A really good piece of kit. If you're on a 30L, good rucksack, I mean, yes, it does have a little chest strap, it doesn't have a waist strap, it doesn't have an internal frame. You will probably get hot backs. It's only got one pocket at the top as well, whereas this has a waist strap, 2 pockets, so it's much more easy to extend. That's the only thing I really wish this had. You've got this here, and I'm going to get some Velcro so I can attach the bottle holders to it, but I really wish there was just a couple of anchor points on here. You could use that at a push, but you only need 2 of the trekking poles, so that's the only thing. But I say that I got for 22 quid. That is amazing for 22 quid. I think that's a really amazing rucksack. You get like proper rucksacks that cost many times that. This is a massive bargain. I'll sit down and tell you the saga of this rucksack. This one was 35, originally 28 from somewhere else. It arrived, and these are getting old now. This is from 2009, so they're harder to find and also starting to get a bit trashed. But the one I got originally, all of the padding in here was brittle, and you could just press it and break it, so I returned it. It was an eBay purchase. The second purchase on eBay then never arrived. They refunded me on that one, and that was like 29 quid. So in the end, I went to a great place called Ranger, southwest London. They had one, and it was 35 quid. I really wish I'd gone there first. They will ask me like, why are you buying on eBay when we're here? And I was like, yeah, you've got a point. And also I might do a bit of a collab with Ranger in future. Support your local military outfitters. I think that's a success. And as I say, you can pretty much fit all of what I just put in here into here. I've brought about 2 nights worth of food. That will not take, yeah, you won't be able to take 2 nights food. It's really 1 night of food. If it's really warm, you don't need the puffy jacket or any of that, but this is British weather here. I'm sure other people in the world are going, yeah, we don't need that. They don't have hard weather, which is, you really have like 3 seasons in one day, sometimes 4 seasons. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. This is, say, a precursor to 1 or 2 trip videos I'm going to be working on, or subscribe for those. And yeah, I hope you find this informative and interesting. It's the first time I've ever done a loadout. Are they called loadout videos? Pack up videos, pack up, pack out, load up. That sounds rude. I always had a lot of anxiety about packing, and it's one of the reasons why I never really shown it. It would take me days, if not weeks, to pack. It sounds ridiculous, but yes, because I'd be like, oh, this, oh, that, and I will say to anybody like that, it gets better. As I was saying earlier, you learn what to take. It's a lot easier if you've got like, oh, here's all my first aid stuff there, here's the food stuff mostly packed up. It makes it so much easier. It's like you can just put modular and just go, and actually, you know, it took me a night of fiddling around with that, and then this, to realise what would be good to take. Thanks to all my lovely members and subscribers. You make this channel. There'll be another video on screen now about probably another one of the gear videos. I will speak to you soon. Thanks for that, siren.